A man who worked his way up from nothing and became a great actor. But one day, something hit. This is the life of Johnny Depp.
Hello, everybody, and I hope you've been having a wonderful day. We're back at it again with another episode from UnCancelled. I'm O.
And I am S.
And today, we'll be talking about Johnny Depp and the Heard trial.
Yes, it is a very confusing, controversial, and all in all, just I feel like for me, it's very entertaining to watch.
Yes, and it shouldn't be because it's a trial,
right?
And it's very concerning with our generation.
It's very entertaining to me to see, all the things that, they're both saying, especially Amber, because,
Yes, and Johnny, okay. So, before we get right into it, let's give you some context info. So, who is he? He was an actor who played in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, he has been in a lot of movies. He's been in Mad Hatter, in Alice in Wonderland, Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, Corpse Bride, and Into the Woods.
Yeah, and these are only some of the many movies, and I'm pretty sure he's been in a couple of shows as well. And he's a very famous actor, so when this happened, a lot of his fans got angered.
He started acting in 1984, which is think about it, a long time ago. And
yeah, exactly. So let's start talking about who is Amber Heard in this? Where does she come from or come in?
So in 2009, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, they met on the set of The Rum Diary. And I guess they hit it off because later in 2012 they started dating. And you should know that up until 2012, Johnny Depp had been dating Vanessa Paradis. He had been with her since 1998, and he has 2 kids with her.
Yeah, so it's been a really long relationship. They just never got married. But I guess something bad must have happened, or maybe it just didn't work out, since they are still on good terms, apparently. Through social media, they've stated that they're on good terms. And this is when Amber Heard enters the picture.
Yeah, so they started dating in 2012.
Yeah.
Then, after dating for about 2 years, in 2014, they get engaged. And everything seems good. You know?
Right?
It's happy.
The start of every relationship, butterflies, rainbows, who knows?
Exactly. Then they get married.
They get married in 2015, and they get married up until 2017. But in 2016, Amber Heard files a divorce.
Yeah, she accused Johnny Depp of throwing his phone and bruising her.
Exactly.
And she, files a restraining order, and she does, everything to get away from him.
Yeah, and basically, this is when, chaos started to erupt. What happened was that Johnny Depp, he was accused of domestic violence. And so the media automatically, since he's such a famous, actor, automatically they start, hating on him. They start telling him, hey, why are you beating up your wife? They start accusing him of things that we aren't even sure is true yet.
Yeah, and this really affects his social image because he loses all of his, control, his jobs, his acting gig is just gone,
Yeah, and it's very, someone's image, especially for an actor, is very important, especially for public.
Exactly, and after all these years, and we're not sure if he actually did abuse Miss Heard or not, nothing is clear yet. The trial is still going on.
Yeah.
But, just to be accused of it is still a really big thing, especially for an actor.
Yeah, and he was even saying how his son, people are telling his son that, hey, your dad's a wife beater, and that's a horrible thing.
Exactly.
Imagine having that title over your head. It's something that brings down a person.
And your family is affected by it, and everything. Your kids.
Your life is affected by it. It's also it's very, very harming.
Yeah, and from the divorce in August, they have a $7 million settlement. So.
Yeah, so the divorce, Amber Heard was paid $7 million by Johnny Depp. Okay, and things were all fine. Everything was fine, right? Up until December of 2018. This was when Amber Heard decided she would write an op-ed for the Washington Post. Now, in this op-ed, she didn't accuse Johnny Depp, but she said that she was a victim of, domestic violence. And she basically geared it towards Johnny Depp being the accuser or the abuser.
Yeah, she didn't name any names, but
Everyone,
context, you can kind of,
And this is when Johnny Depp started to lose all his job contracts, all of his hard work. Everyone started seeing him as a horrible person, and so companies no longer wanted him to be an actor. So, for example, he was in a show called Fantastic Beasts 3, right? This was a movie. And what happened was that he was one of the casts, right? He was a very famous cast, and this was the third movie, and he was supposed to act in it. But the company told him, asked him to resign because of the op-ed that was written about him.
Yeah, people didn't want to associate with his name now because of, the dirt that had essentially been thrown on it. So he lost a lot of money, and he lost, almost everything he had. His pride, I guess, maybe his his kids, maybe they looked up to him, and now because of all the rumors that were going on, his son was being targeted. They probably, kind of, maybe made him feel bad.
Yeah,
stuff
he
that.
probably lost a lot of his own personal feelings. His feelings were really hurt by this as well.
Yeah, he probably his mental health was probably really affected by this,
and also his family. But in 2019, Johnny Depp sued Amber Heard for $50 million for defamation of character in her op-ed post in the Washington Post. Now, when the trial never started until 2020 in July 7th, and this was a 3-week trial.
Unfortunately, Johnny Depp lost.
Yeah, but again, before the trial even started, there was a recording that was leaked, and this recording was of Amber Heard admitting that she actually did hit Johnny Depp.
Okay, so the recording admitted that she hit Depp, but he still lost.
Yeah, Johnny Depp lost. He was not ready to give up, and so he went to a lot of other courthouses in order to try to find one that would hear his appeal, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't until 2022, which is current, and he found a place in
Virginia where the Fairfax County Courthouse finally accepted his case and decided to let him fight it.
Yeah, and so this is where we are now in the spring of 2022. It is Johnny Depp's and Amber Heard's defamation case. So now that you guys are kind of caught up with the whole Amber Heard, Johnny Depp mess, let's actually get into what the case.
About what's happening. So basically, we're gonna also talk about our personal opinions on this.
Yeah. So be warned, be prepared.
Just know that nothing is confirmed because the trial is still going on, and nobody is, I guess, let's say, winning or losing.
Yeah, currently.
But a lot more people are supporting Johnny Depp.
Yeah, a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean on social media, in the media, everywhere. All I see is Johnny Depp, he deserves justice. Just hashtag justice for, Johnny was a hashtag that was trending.
Yeah.
While Amber Heard, people are really hating on her. People are saying she's a liar, a manipulator.
I feel bad because, it could be true. She could have been, he could have been violent with her, and she's being put down. So I don't think violence or hating on others is ever a good idea. So I feel bad for her too, but I honestly support Johnny because
same. I support Johnny too.
His case is just so much. It's been so far from what I know, his case is just more believable.
It's. Amber's case, it was believable, and not because Johnny is a man or anything like that, but because at first everyone believed her, and now when she's actually telling her story, her time in when she's talking in the court, she sounds very suspicious, and I see a lot of TikToks point this out, And honestly, in my own opinion, the way she speaks, it kind of seems like she's lying in a sense. I'm not accusing her of lying, but it just seems like it.
Yeah, and also when you actually listen to what she's saying, you can hear that a lot of the events that she talks about that's happened, you can kind of see how Amber was kind of in the wrong for most of them, you know? Like, whenever Johnny's lawyers are talking to her, and for example, one of the arguments made was about how Amber cut off Johnny Depp's finger.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is a really big thing. She just cut it off, and that's an evidence that she did, in fact, you know, was violent against him. And
it was even a recording of her saying she hit, like, she was telling her, oh, please, Johnny, like, I never punched you, I hit you.
Yeah.
And then, again, like, in her trial, she also states, I've never hit Johnny. Johnny, I love Johnny. Like, and it's very contradicting.
Yes.
She contradicts herself a lot, I've noticed.
Yes, and she contradicts herself all the time. And for the case with the finger, her lawyer points out that during that there's a video of her writing on the walls and hating on him. So she's like writing stuff like, you know, you suck, and on the wall while his finger is cut off. So you can kind of see how all the evidence kind of points towards Amber Heard being guilty.
Yeah, and then also, like, to add on to that, like, there was also the $7 million settlement. She said that she donated it all to charity, but apparently she kept it for 13 months, and she's saying that she didn't yet, but she will.
Yeah, but it's like, what?
So she had time. It's very weird. It's very, like, you know, it's particular.
Yes.
It's interesting.
She was telling the truth, but, you know, hey, like, we're just trying to tell you guys the facts right now.
Yeah. And then another thing was Camille, you know, the Johnny Depp's lawyer. She was questioning Amber the other day and was talking about why, like, there was like a knife that Amber Heard had given Johnny Depp in the year of 2012, and this was also the year that she had accused him of being, like, violent with her. So it's weird because she's saying, oh yeah, he was already violent with me since 2012. He just got more. But, like, if someone was violent to you, why would you give them a knife?
And it wasn't a small one. It was a
huge, like, it was a kitchen knife.
You know, it was a big
But it was like
knife.
a design. It was a very nice design, but still very interesting.
You know, so and there have been many cases when you can kind of see how it's hard to believe her, because in one of the arguments she talks about how one day Johnny hit her so hard she thought that she broke her nose.
Yeah,
you know?
and then another day,
her lawyer shows pictures from the day after that incident.
Her nose was completely fine,
and she looks perfectly fine. Her and Johnny are like sitting together taking pictures, but
she said it was because of her makeup.
Yeah, she talks about how she covered her bruising with makeup. And she even talks about how she did it. You know, she gives a whole tutorial on how to...
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, if your nose feels like it's broken, I feel like, why would you go to a party the next day? You know, she was smiling. She looked really beautiful, by the way, in the party. You know, and I feel like if you go... I mean, your eyes would be kind of red, you know, because your nose...
Yeah, exactly. Your nose is a really sensitive place.
And, like, you know, your eyes would be kind of red, but, like, nothing like that was going on. So... and she talks about, you know, she's like, oh, it's makeup, and she, you know, and we can't prove that it's not, but...
Yeah, like, in her statement, she also was saying how she was being, like, sexually abused or assaulted by Johnny Depp, like, with a bottle.
Yes.
And this was one of her, like,
main arguments.
Yeah, her main arguments. And the thing is that we really can't say, oh, this didn't happen, because we weren't there. We don't know.
Yeah,
But people, and this is what I see, what's wrong with, like, media right now, is that they completely just made a joke out of it, and it's really sad to see that. There's a lot of TikToks just being like, hi, yeah, right, but, like, the thing is, we don't know.
Exactly. And, you know, that could have happened to her, and we should never hate on anybody, you know. I mean, who knows, maybe she did go through that, maybe she worked really hard to hide it from, because it's really hard to be, like, you know, famous, to be an actor, and to be in front of everyone's eyes. Your whole life is being played out for display.
Yeah, especially since this whole trial, people are like literally zooming in, editing, becoming detectives.
Exactly.
It's very
Like any sort of facial expression that Amber or Johnny does is looked at as if it is
some crime scene. Like it's very. This whole case is very. I guess I would say weird.
Yes,
would
and
be a
people
word
have
to.
twisted.
It's strange.
Yeah, and people have twisted everyone's
and
words.
it's really weird. It's really creepy to see that this is how our like
society
is today. Like our generation that we. This is how like something as serious as a trial people are making a joke out of.
Exactly, and it's a really serious thing to be sexually abused.
Yeah,
to be,
exactly. And people are just overseeing. They don't really care, I guess.
If you support someone, you support them, but you can't just completely, especially because the trial has not been, no one has won yet.
And especially since we don't even know, like, the full story ourselves.
So, Amber Heard, she also had, like, a psych evaluation because she claimed that she had PTSD from the abuse that she faced. And now, I think it was her psychologist who said that she did have PTSD.
She did or she didn't?
She did. But later, a little bit later, she had another psych evaluation where another psychologist said she was exaggerating
to seem
like she had PTSD. Like she was exaggerating the symptoms and that she didn't actually have PTSD.
Yeah. Like this whole trial is very interesting to see Amber Heard as well because when I first saw her, like, in her, like, movie, I thought that she was just, a normal person. She seemed really, fine. But now, like, after this trial, I think my image of her has changed a lot. Because I see her, I guess I do kind of see how she is a little bit manipulative. And how, like...
Yeah, she's been caught lying a lot, too. Like, they're kind of small little white lies that...
But, like, it's a little white lies.
Don't prove anything, but... don't prove anything for the trial, but what it does prove is that, she does lie sometimes. And this, like, can we trust her? Like, how far will she go with the lies?
Yeah. And it's just interesting to see how fast people, like, change their minds as soon as, like, hey, one day, let's cancel Johnny. Now, let's cancel Amber Heard. Now, let's cancel a deer. Like, you don't know what's next,
Exactly.
It's like our society has become... Like, the cancel culture, I feel like it's very toxic. Seeing as people don't really like to look behind the picture. They don't really take the time.
You don't know everything that's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe unless the person... after the trial's done, when it's proven that one of them was guilty, then maybe if you're going to cancel them, that's, like, your choice. You don't want to follow them. You don't like them anymore. But
I get canceling, like, people who deserve it. But at the same time, cancel culture has become so, I would say, it's
fickle now.
Yeah, it's fickle. Like, people don't think about it.
And,
as well.
And sometimes it's not even because you don't like this, it's because your friends all do it,
Yeah, and so it's, like, kind of peer pressure.
Exactly. And I actually didn't know about Amber Heard at all. And when I first heard the trial, I was totally against her. I was like, oh my god, Amber Heard sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I only heard the side that people were showing that was beneficial to Johnny. So I was like, oh my god, Amber Heard sucks. But then I heard about, like, the bottle assault and...
Yeah, and then I started rethinking, like, like, we don't know if she's lying.
Right?
So it's very weird and, like, it's very sad to see how we as humans judge very quickly.
Exactly. And also, another thing is, Johnny, I feel like he isn't taking it seriously.
Yeah.
You can see him, like,
laughing in the background while she's, like, telling her story. And it's
like,
really...
giggling. And, it doesn't seem...
This whole case is very weird because, even, like, the two, or Johnny at least, we keep seeing him, like, laugh. And although, like, on TikTok, he's getting praised for it.
Yeah,
it
should
not be praised.
He's so chill.
Yeah, it should not be praised.
And then to Amber, like, oh my god, look, she's acting. She's, there's one video of her talking to her lawyer, and she kind of smiles for a bit, and then she just goes serious again. People are like, oh my god, the moment she remembers she's supposed to be sad. Like, it really, like, shows how... corrupt our society has become because we, every little thing someone does, no one's perfect. I feel like even when I'm sad sometimes, I have, like, a moment when I'm kind of, like, happy again or something,
Yeah.
And, I just think that, people should really stop, trying to label everything like this person's bad or this person's good, or just wait until you know everything, because the saying like ignorance is bliss. It's not true.
Yeah.
And people should have all the facts before they make a decision.
Yeah, I agree. So now usually at the end of the video we would ask, should the person be canceled? But we kind of already know that the answer right now is no. But that's such a fickle answer because you never know in the future. Okay? So I guess the question for this video is, what do you think about this whole case?
Do you think, like, whose side are you on actually? Like, do you think that that Johnny is right, that, he is telling the truth, or do you think that Amber is telling the truth?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
do you think her story is, more believable?
Yeah,
And also, do you think the trial is even, the right thing? Like, was this even, like, a good...
Yeah, was it a good move by Johnny and her, since they both, like, agreed to this? Like, they both were suing each other.
Yeah, and, like, is this, is this just for them to spend their money that they already have?
Yeah.
Or is this, like, some kind of, like, stunt they're pulling to
I don't
attract
think
more
it's
people?
a stunt, but yeah. It could be.
I mean,
But,
you never know.
but it's probably not, but who knows. So, that
concludes our video. Thank you guys for listening.
I'm O.
And I'm S.
And we'll see you next time.
week.